So a do while loop is similar to a while loop. The difference is the test is done after you run the loop one time. So it is always going to run one time. The condition you're checking is at the bottom. And the other kind of weird thing about a do while loop is that we have a semicolon at the end of the while statement. It is the only statement that has a conditional check that has a semicolon at the end. So that's something that you're going to have to remember. Otherwise, the processing is similar. So here I've got a variable called sum and counter, and I initialize them because this is going to go through at least once. And so I add the counter to the sum. So at this point, the sum is still 0. And I add 10 to the counter. As long as the counter is less than 100, I'm going to stay in the loop. And so now I'm adding in 10. Counter becomes 20. Okay, the next time through, I'm adding in 20 and the counter becomes 30 and so on. So it'll go through when the counter is 90, but when that counter reaches 100, it will be done and it will write out the sum is and print it out. Here is another example, and the user is going to determine the number of times the program runs. However, it is going to run once because it is a do while. So how many items would you like to buy? We're going to read that in. Okay, then we create some variables, set some of them to 0. And then we have them enter the price of the first one, enter the quantity, calculate the grand total, and increment the counter. And as long as the counter is less than the number of items, we're going to go through this again. Okay, and once we have processed all of the items, then we print out what their total is.